Well, as you guys know, I have been talking a lot about my absolute favorite show right now, which is, of course, Winning Time on HBO. And I was blown away because I'm an idiot and I've been watching this show religiously, as you guys know, every week. And I had no idea that the man who is playing Michael Cooper for the Los Angeles Lakers is one of our own. He's not only a Baltimorean, he actually, in fact, even went to Maryland. Like, he couldn't be more of one of our own. He is the pride of Poly. He's Delante Desouza, and he's with us now here on GCR. Delante, man, it is so exciting to chat with you. Thank you for taking the time, and congratulations on the incredible success of Winning Time.
Thank you, Glenn. Thank you for having me here, man. It feels good to be on and talk with a fellow native from my city. So I'm excited.
Dude, this is so cool. Can you take me back, Delante, your background? Like, were you an athlete? Were you a basketball player at all? Were you growing up in Baltimore and on through Poly? What was your athletics background?
Yeah, so I was a track and field athlete in high school, Glenn. I ran indoor track for a couple years at Poly, but I never really played basketball. Like I played it recreationally, like outside and stuff. I
Mhm.
played like LA Fitness, that whole sort of deal. But like I've never played for a basketball team. Track was always my thing. I did the 200 and the 400 and the 4x4. So I was, pretty decently fast on the track, but I had never gotten the chance to translate those skills into basketball until, working on the show.
We're gonna talk about that. The background into acting, right? Like, when did you know that was the path for you? I know you didn't. It's not what you went to Maryland to do, correct?
No, no, not at all. I actually went to Maryland to be a computer scientist, funny enough.
Weird. That's a very different path, my man.
Yeah, for sure. Um, but yeah, I think the thought of being a full-time actor first came to me when I was about 14 or 15 years old. I
Okay.
was going to this community theater called the Arena Players. You're familiar with it.
Yep.
Um, for those of you who don't know, the Arena Players is a African American owned and operated community theater in Baltimore, Baltimore City, and it's actually the longest running and continually operated African American community theater in the United States. So it has a lot of history there. But I was going there, I was kind of doing plays and stuff like that. And I remember I was coming up towards the end of my years there because I was getting ready to go to college and do that whole sort of thing. Um, and I remember I did this one summer play, and Robert Chu, I call him Mr. Chu, but Proposition Joe on the Wire.
Yeah.
He was one of my acting teachers there. And
Yo,
I remember, yeah,
you
it's
just
crazy,
blow my.
right?
You're blowing my mind right now, yo. Prop Joe. That's unreal. That's unreal. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt Delante.
No, it's all good, Glenn. Yeah, Prop Joe, he was my acting teacher. But yeah, I remember I was doing my last performance at the theater, and he said to me, he said, Delante, I don't know what you want to do, but you could really take this acting thing to the next level if you want.
Yeah.
Like I believe in you, and I'm giving you that. Like if you want to do it, I fully think you can. And that was the first moment where the possibility of being an actor as a career kind of sat with me. Um, but I just kept that for years, really, throughout all my time in Maryland. I was, doing plays and stuff here and there, kind of dipping my toe in the water. Um, but it wouldn't be until years later that I actually went for it full force.
Dude, this is such a cool. I Prop Joe told you could be an actor, man. Like, that man can act. Like,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
is
he is a
powerful.
beast.
Delante D'Souza is with us. Winning Time Sunday nights on HBO. So you get through Maryland, you get into acting.
Mhm.
This opportunity is so unique. This is an Adam McKay project. This is helmed, by John C. Riley. And I know that was sort of a change at some point during the process. When something like this comes to you, what words can even describe what an opportunity like this is?
Uh, the first word that comes to mind is euphoric. All puns intended, by the way.
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, we've seen the show. Yeah, we've.
But no, it's so crazy, Glenn, because Adam McKay is, I mean, dude, he's one of the nicest dudes ever. He's absolutely hilarious. He's funny. He cares. Like, just being able to be on a project with him and be involved with him is such a wonderful and beautiful experience. You know what I mean? So it was just, I mean, I was just elated to one, be on a TV show, but two, be on HBO also. And three, had to be with Adam McKay. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better first project if you ask me.
Unreal, man. It's really unreal. Delante, the side of it, obviously, let's go back to basketball, right? Like you were kind of a basketball player, but the basketball in this is real. It's legit. It's a central focus in this show. How do you get there? How do you get to a place where not only do you have to be an actor, but you got to be capable of portraying real high level Lakers Showtime basketball?
Yeah, so the path to getting there is about 2 years worth of basketball training.
Okay.
Rigorous practices. We had an NBA skills coach named Edon Ravin. He's trained like Steph Curry. He's trained Carmelo Anthony, and a bunch of NBA guys. But we worked with him for the show, and we would have 2-a-day rehearsals slash practices where sometimes we would run plays, but most of the time we would do conditioning. So for me specifically, everybody had their own uh, silhouette, let's say. So Quincy, the guy who plays Magic Johnson, his focus was on being able to pass from anywhere, the behind the back, the no look, the flashiness of Magic. For me, it was just getting as long and as lean as possible, just looking like a tower uh, on defense as Michael Cooper and becoming tenacious when I'm on defense. So, for us, it was 3 hours a day, 2 practices a week, and we were just trying to emulate the Showtime's Lakers as best we could. I mean, we're not athletes. I mean, there's a couple athletes in the cast, as in guys who played basketball before, either in college or stuff like that. But like, we aren't full-time athletes, so we had to bring the essence of Showtime, even though physically we weren't 6 inches taller than we actually are.
Right.
To create.
Right.
Yeah.
How much did you know about the show? I mean, obviously, age-wise, this is before you, of course, right? Like, how much did you know about the Showtime Lakers? Did you read Jeff Pearlman's book to try to get you there? And were you as fascinated as we've been with all of the layers, right? Like, we knew the basketball side. My God, all of the layers every week. Dude, I know I read the book years ago. I never knew the Jerry Tarkanian story. I never knew it. Blew my mind, right? Like, how much of that did you know coming into it?
Oh man, Glenn, I didn't know anything, to be honest, coming into it. I mean, I knew about Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but like everybody knows those two.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you go a little bit deeper with the Lakers, you probably will bring up like James Worthy, Byron Scott, that later Showtime era of the Lakers. But yeah, man, I didn't know who Michael Cooper was, to be honest with you,
Wow.
until I first got in the audition and I did some research, and I was like, wow, me and this dude kind of look alike.
That helps. That helps.
Yeah, definitely helps. But like you said, Glenn, it was definitely before my time. But I mean, Jeff just has an amazing book.
Yep.
I mean, that guy is a sports journalist genius. I mean, I remember I was on set one day and I had saw Jeff Pearlman. He was like visiting the set to just kind of see, what we were up to, checking things out. And I walked up to him and I said, Jeff, without your book, I mean, it's literally a book. None of this would be possible. You guys wouldn't be able to watch this show. We wouldn't be working on it. We wouldn't have all these people coming in and doing these amazing things on set. We wouldn't have Adam producing this awesome project. Like, it all started with a book about basketball, more specifically the Showtime Lakers, and look what it became. And I just love and appreciate the fact that you guys are digging it as much as we did making it.
Delante Desouza is with us here on Glenn Clark Radio. Of course, plays Michael Cooper on Winning Time. That part of it, what did you know? Did you know when it was being filmed? All of the way it was being shot. Like it's such a small thing, but it adds so much to the show that like you feel like you're watching something in the 1980s. Did you know that was going on? Did you have any clue that it was going to look like that? And when you got to see it, did you know immediately, oh my God, people are going to love this? Because I don't mean, I'm not just trying to kiss your ass because you're on the show. It's such a wonderful television program.
Ah, thank you, Glenn. You know, it's funny because that was like one of the hardest and biggest secrets for me to keep working on the show
Okay.
was what it would look like. And it's not even something you can explain to people. Like I tried to explain to one of my friends, I was like, yeah, dude, this show is gonna be awesome. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be amazing. It looks like you're in the 80s. And he was like, what does that mean?
Right.
And I was like, it just looks like you're in the 80s, man. Like it looks like you got transported back to the 80s. So I'm glad you guys got to visually see what it looked like. But man, when I saw it for the first time, I remember I was on set and I just finished up my scenes for the day and I was watching some playback and I was just like, oh my God, this is gorgeous. Like the way the cinematographers, the DP, Todd, who works on the show, just his vision for the project just is mind blowing. And like on the show, we use actual film to shoot the project. So like we had rolls of film going that you would hear run out like towards
Wow.
the end of a
Wow.
take, and we'd have to like stop and reload. Like it was like uh legitimate film and like making that grainy 80s look like you'd see.
That's so cool, man. It's so cool. And it's so worth it. Oh, it just adds so much to what is already such a wonderful show. I ask, knowing you can't give anything away, but like everything we've already seen, right? Like we've already seen a lot. What could possibly still be to come this season, man? Like, my God.
I would say, as far as the rest of the season goes, there's definitely more drama within the team. Um, there's going to be more big basketball rivalries that
Yep.
we haven't touched on yet, or we've
I,
just scratched the surface of.
I guess there's a certain someone that we know is still going to show up at some point. We're pretty excited about that. That'll still be pretty cool.
Yes, yes, yes. His name rhymes with Barry Murd, I think.
Be anyone. Could be anyone.
It could be anyone, Glenn.
Uh,
But nah, dude, we've got so much more exciting stuff coming up this season. I mean, the show just takes off from this point. You know, this is where we start to fly. We've got everybody established. We've got our storylines in and tight, and then we can just fly with it. So you guys are definitely in for a great second half of the season.
and then what about for Delante Desouza? This is such a cool story that a kid from Baltimore is getting this opportunity. What's next for you? I can only imagine, the types of doors that doing a project like this can open for you. What's next for you? What are you working on? What are your goals? What are your aspirations?
Yeah, Glenn. So right now, there are some things that I can't really discuss right now publicly. But what I can say is that this is definitely not the last time you'll see me.
Yeah, we like that.
So yeah, we love that, right? But I say just stay on the lookout, man. I got some exciting news coming up. So yeah, it'll be fun.
I love that. I love that, man. Dude, I can't tell you. I am such a nerdy fan of this TV show, bro. Like, I am such a fan, and it makes me so much happier now that we know that one of our own is succeeding and thriving because of it, man. It means a whole lot to us back this way. Is there somebody back in Baltimore you want to give a shout out to? Somebody that maybe like from your athletics like career, track and field, anything like that, that maybe people need to know how important this person was to you in your life here.
Yeah, for sure. I would definitely want to get a shout out to my parents back home, my brother, my sister, and also my other brother, just my family in general. Shout out to you guys. Definitely gave me a lot of support growing up to do what I'm doing now. So I thank you guys for that, and I appreciate that. I also want to give a shout out to the arena players, man. If I wasn't there, I wouldn't be here now. So they were the ones that kind of laid the foundation for the craft in me and watered that seed and let it grow. So definitely shout out to the arena players Miss Catherine Orange, thank you so much. And shout out to my mentor, Rod Carter, too, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. Love my city.
That's awesome, man. Delante Desouza, at Delante Desouza on Twitter, at Delante Desouza on Instagram as well, to give him a follow. Anything else we can get a plug in for you for, man?
No, that's about it, Glenn. Thank you.
Hey, brother. Seriously, you are killing it. The show is phenomenal. It brings me great joy to have this conversation. Greatly appreciate you taking a couple of minutes for us this morning, and continued success. We'll be in touch. All right.
Awesome, Glenn. No problem, man. Thank you for having me on again, man. I appreciate it.